hit their shots though.
Yeah,
that has to be said.
So, Dream obviously being that sort of aggressive. Sometimes this is the problem. This is the problem. I think confidence plays a massive role with the AWP. Some games we see Dream play so aggressive and it works out for him. Some games we see him not even try to play aggressive, just play passive the whole game. Doesn't quite net them anything. And hopefully, leading into this final map, there's nothing to lose. Grow some balls and get some peaks going and try and get things going in your favor.
Well, fingers crossed. That CAZ can try and put on through. Of course, you have to ride the CeX train a little bit as well. They've put in a very strong effort. Really can't knock them at all for that first map. And I mean, the big storyline, the big thing that everyone's talking about is at the end of the day, can they bat at home? Do they have the might on overpass? We've of course already seen them up against teams like FM as mentioned. That shows a lot of skill. FM. It's not like they're a bad team that you just bat on through as well either way.
It's not
FM
like
are a very talented team.
FM are very, very good. Very, very talented, exactly. But how good is FM on overpass compared to how good is how good is CAZ on overpass? FM and CAZ, completely different beasts in terms of the lineups, how they play, how they want to play.
Well, I think you actually, just to take on that, how they play, I actually think when you look at these two teams, that's the big varying point. Especially when you apply CAZ in towards overpass as well. CAZ's overpass is going to be vastly different from, say, FM's overpass. So it does mean that CeX actually have to adapt. That could perhaps be the difficulty prospect for them, having to almost just read the play. But we're going to find that out. Already we're seeing aggression come out, though. Smooya just walking straight through connector, no fear in the world.
It's quite risky from the CT side, having no kit and playing retake towards A. As we see. Is that boost B? I can't quite see. If we can get Observer to look at number 1 for me, please. There we go. So yes, it is the retake A. He's not actually stairs. Quite risky play, as I've just mentioned before, with no kit. Smooya going towards connector, they're trying to get information. But with no information towards connector, it's going to be Thomas to find the first one to Jacob. This is great. Now bides time to allow the rotates to come in. But Thomas is down, and the A site is CAZ's.
Rezo, though, looking to do the work here as he gets pushed on through the onslaught. Could be Manic, as MCK is going to find one. Rezo, a quick second, but MCK still pulling on through, now going aggressive, shutting him down. Smooya, well, it's time to shine. A 1v3, going to sit in that corner, just looking to guide off his head now, peeking on out. But CAZ, they're being smart. They're not pushing him forward. Now spotted him out. Dream is going to go aggressive, and Smooya, given no time of day, can even think about landing a shot as Dream. Too quick on the trigger. CAZ, they start strong.
They do indeed. Winning the pistol round is so important because they need to get the momentum going in their favor, especially on their T side. So, CEX force, which means if they lose the force by going into the first buy round, there will be no AWP and a lack of utility. So if CAZ can win this, looking at a pretty strong start for them if they can take the first buy round as well. Roma, Molotov, Smooya at Connect is dying. Eventually runs away. And they're going in as well. Might connect some damage towards Cinder. No, it doesn't. He's staying at 100%. And now the crossfire connector can go back to normal. Smooya and Cinder there, hoping that there is some aggression towards connector. But if you're the T side, generally speaking, your setup should be towards A long and focus there. And once you're up A long, contact A based off that. And as you can see already, the T's are towards long. No Molotov towards tree. That's fair enough. Not all teams do it. Some teams like to. And then a flash into long toilet. And then following the map control, make a read and make a call based off that.
At least in this early portion, CAZ, they set out a trail, which only involves long. But how are they going to approach this on that CT side of things? As Thomas does go for a bit of a peek, but not one that really nets too much, as it didn't look like he even committed to actually gaining the information. So for now, he's going to just drop back to Transformer, and CeX just going to hold off their spots.
That's a new one.
Not heard that before?
I mean, that's a pretty shoddy looking Optimus Prime, mate.
Mate, I've been called Transformer literally since day one I played CS.
Day one. Anyway, I'll call that truck. Thomas at truck. Now let's see what we can make of this. Oh my god, that's a 1 dig if I've seen one. Smooya takes down the first player. And now Thomas and Rezu find frag. Smooya gets a second for his name. It's going to be Dream now, the 1 versus 3. Once again on the... Oh no, I believe it's on B there for 1 second. Anyway, spraying off towards Smooya, 13 HP. Smooya unnecessarily peeking there potentially because right now this is 1 versus 2 and Dream is close to both of these players. Pulls the bomb out. This could be bad timing for him, but he is darting on the site. It will be the CTs to squish him and push him from both angles. Take him down, and it's looking like the Decepticons fail. As around that Transformer area, they win it.
I mean, what are we going to go with here? I feel like we have to make a decision.
Please go truck.
Are we going with truck?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of...
I'm trying to think of where I even picked it up from, to be honest.
Yeah, because honestly, I've never heard someone call it Transformer before.
It might be an old call. It might be a call from some random region. I don't know.
I mean, the weirdest call, I think, foreign-wise, is Germans call a ramp or Mirage action.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where they're coming from with that, to be fair.
Anyway, Smoola trying to get some eco frags and pat those stats, because this is a HLTV match after all. 2 kills for him. It's still going to be the 4 versus 3.
Thomas is going to try and make some money as well with that UMP as he just dives on in, has his pickings. Catches MCK as well, so more than happy with that end result. And, well, why not finish it off with a tertiary on towards Jacob. For CeX, that second round win has actually been hugely incremental for them on the CT side. It's woken them up, it's got them going, and because you want to be saying it's kind of woken up the belly of the beast per se, but we don't really get to see that just yet because they're still in this broken spot of economy.
Yes, indeed. So the full eco coming out for CAZ, hopefully seeing money being made right now for CeX. The module comes out, they will go through it. So easy pickings here for Brody. See, that's 600 to the bank, and that's 1,200 anymore. I can take that back because he's whiffing. $900 will do. And it's Dreamlast alive once again, finds one. Can he get any more though? Try and take some guns and economy out of the CT's hands. And nope, Smooya Lad finds him. It's going to be 1 for him this round.
This is where things begin to be the show that we're looking for. CAZ on that buy. They got themselves what should be 5 flat rifles. There you have it, 5 AK-47s. They have a good chunk of utility. Not the best by a long shot, but arguably enough with those smokes as well.
It's not really about the utility. It's more so the fact that with no AWP, it doesn't really telegraph what they want to do. They're not going to play slow and play for picks. They want to group up, take B short, try and take monster and go from there. But as I'm saying that, they're actually going away from the fast set play. And instead we're going to see the double push from the CTs through connector. They open the AWP and they're trying to see if they can get a pick with Smooya's AWP. Even when on the T side, Thomas will go connect to Smooya, and Thomas will open the door and cover Smooya's other angles while he peeks. And even on the CT side, they do the exact same. So CeX really prompting Smooya to play well. You know, we saw how Lutzer played on endpoint. It's like he was on his own island in there. And now watching, you know, how Smooya's team play around him, it's very different. And it really does make a difference when you are AWPing, having your teammates to back you up.
I think it has to be said though that if Smooya is feeling it, that's the best thing to do. If you've got a player who is hitting those shots, who's getting themselves going,
Smooya's obviously going to be a lot more vocal as well.
Yeah.
Very controversial, what's the word I'm looking for? Personality.
I think that's a light way of putting it.
Demanding would be one.
Still, that's more suited, yeah.
He's definitely worth the talent, no matter what he says. Anyway.
Oh, look at this push though. CAZ is going to get themselves set up to be
timing.
Reckoning straight on towards this B site. Smooya though, this is where he needs to shine. Gets himself the first, looking now for a quick second. Brody on the site, and look at how hesitant they're being, scared. Well, just distraught, they're sitting in a corner. CAZ pressing W and actually moving onto the side. It's pretty damn useful as they at least will get a bomb down, but
it's a teammate.
Where can they play from? Brody, just another to build on through this one. Smooya ending the life of Jacob. They brush through CAZ. Yes, we see 2 picks for them. But is that really anything actionable in comparison to the way that round went for CeX?
It's like they hear the AWP go off and just stunned.
Usually I would say that, okay, they know the AWP's there, they kind of want to sit back, but literally the timing was unreal.
Yeah, you do have to cock the gun, so it's not as if like he can, it's not as if it's an auto sniper where you can just rail people down. He's killed one player, you can still move around that
Considering
pillar.
they didn't smoke it, there was huge opportunities, and it was the timing for me that stuck out.
Smoke it. Anyway, Smith again for the fast pick, he will be smoked off and rushed. Instead, those will Brody C. So all up to Brody C now. And his teammate Thomas, let's see what they can do. Sprays 1, sprays 2. And right now, we're looking like a 5-1 early scoreline for CeX. Third for Brody C. Can he get the 4K? No, he can't. Unfortunate scenes there for him. Jacob down to 1 versus 4.
You can blame Thomas for that one, stealing it right out of his grasp. His Rezu also going to fall, of course, but it's just an M4 for JChem. Has value to it, so not just a simple explanation. But what more can he do with it? And is he going to die? Well, we don't really get too much of a chance to even think about it.
Almost an ace there for Brody C. Unlucky there.
I'm not going to be complaining at this point. 5-1 lead for CeX on their CT side.
Roma right now 0-0-6. Hopefully we don't see James Bond come out to play.
Not really what you're looking for, to be honest, when you're in the second map of a BO3. It's an unfortunate start for CAZ. Do you see a light at the end of the tunnel? I'll be coming up to...
I mean, have these rounds been close?
Not really, unfortunately. Have to preface that.
The only round CAZ has won so far has been their pistol. That was a very good pistol round. I'll give them that. Very, very well played there, but losing that force buy seems to have completely halted their momentum. And right now they need to find a refooting and try and build something off that. Roma now as well towards connector. No one's here, so he will stay in the 0 frags for now. Hopefully by the end of this game, or round even.
I would hope by the end of the game,
Yeah,
let alone the round.
I really do hope after the game he finds more than 0. Hopefully though after this round he will find a feed for his name, and we can see CAZ making the comeback, because if they start losing these rounds and these full buys, you know, how many more rounds can they give up before it's just too late? If they lose this 6-1, Eco 7-1. And if they lose that, I mean, Smuya as well finding Jacob. It's not looking like a good start.
The way I look at this right now for CAZ, in this round, they don't really have a goal. They're trying to spot them out. Thomas now just going to be the man to pluck apart this puzzle as he finds the burst.
Seen that.
Looking for a second. He's going to get caught out, but look at how much damage he's been able to do before he falls. Yes, it was a messy spray. Larnadale spray, of course, from the Roma side of things, will look to do the work for him instead. But it's damage that counts in that scenario. 28 HP, 19 on Roma. This makes it almost easy for the CT side to mop them up. And
well
yet again, one big slap, and CAZ back into the dirt.
I've never seen that angle before. Obviously, the boost there is so common, and he sprayed through that wall where Thomas was boosted. But have you ever seen players boosted there with the door already open?
It's
open, so like
it's perfect
shot
as
through.
well, because if you notice, I believe he was crouched as well, which means that his height is actually difficult to spot. You'd need to not actively check it, but
protrude.
yeah, it's not something that you're going to see very widely. So when you peek that initial angle of that brick wall, then you have to flick to the right from there, which is so difficult because he does kind of not blend in, but you get what I'm referring to.
I know what you mean. That's fair play.
And with the door open, well, I think that I think it works either way.
Someone shut the door, and it really did work out for Thomas there. Obviously, one of the reasons why we may not have seen it before is because you saw what happened there. That wood is very thin, very easy to spam through that, and he did die for the 1-for-1 trade. But all the information, the damage done there, definitely worth it.
It's still huge value.
And then the setup as well that came after that. Smuya watching the left side pillar, Brody C watching short. They all covered that. They all had trust in their teammates to cover each other. And right there, definitely showed. I mean, it's Smuya. Sorry to cut you off one more time. Smuya did tweet that, you know, he's leaving this team. But right now, it is looking like a team and not a mix.
I think the biggest thing that really highlights that point is CeX. They're just playing a game of chess with CAZ where they know every single move that CAZ are going to make 3-4 steps before they even consider doing it, which means every single time CAZ make a push, they're always set up with some form of counterplay. I mean, look at this right now. The minute their backs are turned, Thomas peaks. They do get the trade thanks to Dream. But how far is that actually willing to go for them? Because look at the aggression coming in now from the CT side. They've put CAZ in a box. They try and force their way out. They do get some position to be garnered by Jakem, but it's not just an AWP pinning him down. Look at Cinder's position.
Yeah, there's no way in hell Jakem can predict where Cinder is. Ooh. Oh, that's a crispy shot, that is. Smuya falls 4 versus 3 right now. And finally, CAZ had the lead, but it's going to be thrown away as... Is he going to get knifed? Nope, Cinder just playing with his food at this point, isn't he?
He's waiting to see if anyone else is going to push, and from there, can get that pick.
I know what he's doing, that's why it sounds funny. We've already seen that water. These players aren't even looking at it, what are they doing? Where on earth are you watching? He gets 1-for-1, but gets all the information right now. 2 versus 2, kits on both of the CT players, and nades, most importantly. Resi from Monster. Again, none of the CAZ players are watching this position. Excuse me?
Rezu, you can't do that. That's not something you need to be doing right now.
This isn't ESCA.
Yeah, you need to... Okay.
It's the love tap.
Let's just reset for a second. Let's just move backwards in time. Not quite sure what the game plan was with that, but nonetheless, they've got the read on Fleek. One player going to be heading in down through mid, one over towards long. It's going to be a flat 2v2, all to play for. Cinder looking like he wants to take the peak straight up, and there's no one there to contest. The B side falling back through.
Smoke, 2 flashes, and the kits. So if they smoke off the bomb here it is. Oh,
that's a smoke and a half.
Optimus Prime just shoving him and pushing him out of the way. Doesn't want that smoke on the bomb. Bit of a T-sided transformer. Anyway, Rezu kills Roma. Dream kills Rezu. Let's see what happens now. Cinder. Dream has no reason to peek and he's giving him one now. He's faced again! Time!
How many chances
right now for the CTs because he's going to hold this and stick it. But Dream, does he expect it? Yes, he does. Spray him down and he will.
How many chances does Dream want? And how many chances is CeX going to lose?
I mean, he played it very well. He didn't overcommit. I was worried when I kept saying he's peeking again. I thought he was going to commit, but he played it well. He played it smart. He just, you know, didn't fully commit to the spray and instead just jiggled for the information, realized it was on the bomb, let the time go down.
It's that risk again for me that sits in the back of my mind. But nonetheless, at least it's something on the board now for CAZ to try and work with. But what sticks out, and it's a very sore thumb, CAZ can't go into this with rifles and at least be happy with a couple. They just get one sultry AK-47.
Ina Kalashnikov to their name. Smooth lad in connector as well, jumping around. Dream there. Let's see what happens now. Brody falls, but it's going to be the reply from Thomas. But Thomas dies as well. MCK of the M4 picks it up and they know where Cinder is. They've seen him towards Brid. Can Cinder find anything? No, he can't because Roma is on the ball. And now let's see what Resi and Smooth's reply is.
They find themselves that initial pick. Smooth now looking to dive on through. May even see a boost up on Sandbags from there to give him that elevated angle, which is almost exactly what's going to happen. But he misses the shot. Doesn't get the opportunity to get that jump, and from there now has the jump on out. Doesn't quite connect it again on towards MCK, and that opens things wide open for CAZ to find the picks. So subtle mistakes from CeX, improvements from CAZ. It's a double-edged side, but nonetheless, it is CAZ starting to get some rounds.
I mean, the head players stay alive as well. So 4,700 MCK. The biggest problem is they had to drop their teammates. So right now, even though CAZ had 3 players alive, those 2 drops are really going to make a massive difference right now. Smooth, can he make the difference in this round? Flashed, peeks, spots the gun barrel, and here's the information. Now he'll go toilets and peek towards long, and there should be easy frags for an AWPer.
Needs to land his first shot though. That's going to be critical for him. The repeat potential is much more better suited for a second teammate as he lands the first. Now looking to catch off the second. He misses the shot. MCK will find the trade. So he has been nullified, but more than enough time bought for CeX to decide, okay, how do we want to adapt to this? Where is our response and what cards do we want to play as they sit in ever so tightly to their chest? CAZ on the flip side, the jig is up. If they're going to hit towards A, surely CeX will know.
Do you put cards to your chest?
It's the same. Playing poker, you put the card close to it? No? Okay, I'm just going to be over there.
I don't play poker, mate. I play real games like Counter-Strike. Thomas peeking towards toilets, going to get the frag. Oh, he spots the player. That's all he needs. Because there's 48 seconds on the clock, and he may have spotted the bomb there. But, oh, that's a nice shot there from Dream. Plucks him right out of the sky. 1-man lead now for CAZ. 40 seconds on the clock now. For once, we're not seeing them, attack a bomb site 15 seconds. It's going to be the fast, quick scope there from Dream. It's like I'm watching that FaZe versus Optic match all over again.
It's incredibly weird because finally CAZ are doing the work. We've wanted to see this for quite a while.
Teammate.
Don't shoot your teammate again. Don't need to see that. But yeah, this is so welcome because only just 4 or 5 rounds ago we were saying how CeX were in every single culpable way outperforming CAZ. But now, just almost a flick of a switch, they're starting to hit their shots. They're starting to vary things up and not be so predictable.
Or flick of the switch, more like flick of the wrist from Dream. Nice shots there. Hello? Surely not. Thank God. I mean, Jacob there does win it, but I mean, the way the crosshair was placed there from Cinder, that could have been a headshot. And if they lost that, then it's going to be hard to mentally stay in that game.
One thing has to be said.
Go for it.
CeX, economy. They have to pretty much sit with pistols, and that's pretty much going to leave things at the potential of CAZ playing for 6-6, which, considering how the start of the game went, not at all something we'd expect to see.
Maybe not 6-6, but you'll be 6-5, and then obviously
well, they're going to be playing for that.
Enough. Yeah,
they're going to be playing for that scoreline, and that in itself is
scary, especially when the T's already have 5 rounds and could potentially end it with 8. Thomas, they're pushing, gets information. You can see now these players connected. They leave and they go back towards A, but MCK in connector is going to spot Rezu. It's a nice flick headshot there. And now it's up to Smooth lad in the connector with the Deagle. Let's see if we can get any Juans.
That would be nice. He's going to find the first.
I'd say 2, but it's looking like 0. Well, 1.
Still in position though, still has an opportunity. He peeks on around, gets the tag, not quite the one we were looking for, but will eventually get the kill. And Smooth, the last man remaining. 2 for him so far. Got a rifle, so an upgrade. Has control of the bomb most importantly, and has the 1v1s.
No, you don't want to give Smooth these opportunities, these openings, because he'll take them. This 1v1 here. What are you looking at?
He's checking the corner, Alex. It's okay. Breathe for a second because we're on a 1v1. There are 30 seconds on the clock. Ozzy, he's looking for the push. The angle is being held with a Deagle. The nade is going to go down. It's going to land dead set at feet, almost hitting Ozzy at this point. As he sprays through the smoke, trying to force the hand of Smoothie. He has picked it up, of course. He's almost baiting a peek, saying, okay, are you going to go for it? As he will dart back to the site. Plant it over on the other side of that truck. A 1v1 aplenty. Smoothie, he's taking an inch. Can he play for the mile?
You must be so frustrated if you Dream checking that opposite corner to the stairs and connector at that exact moment. And now with no kit and where Aussie is, it's going to be nearly impossible for Smooya to win this.
No Kevlar either is just another problem built up on a very long built-in list at this point. As Aussie is just going to sit tight in that corner, no need for him to overface. If anything, he can just wait.
Yeah, aim punch seals the deal. And even it's not the head there. Don't think it's quite as intimidating, is it?
Not really. It's not really. I'm just going to shoot the ground for. Yeah.
6-5. 1 round behind now for CAZ. But it shall be the full buy for CEX, the AWP on Smooya lad. Let's see where he's going to use it. Only a flash to his name though, so buying this expensive gun takes away from other areas of the budget. That's going to be the utility.
Smooya going to line themselves up. They'll be able to do some work here. Smooya, of course, backed up by the rifler of Rezu. But bit by bit, he decides to seclude himself, just wants to fall back almost, doesn't quite want to commit to the up-close and personal angles, and I like this, but it does put Rezu in a bit of a situation where he has no support for himself either, just one man, one rifle. And one blind man at that now. The flash is going to just do so much to him and eventually leave him lifeless.
Lifeless is one thing, but tilted is the other. Jumping headshot. Not really jumping headshot, but you get the idea. Jacob does win that duel versus Rezu, and that gets a lot of map control and applies a lot of pressure to the CTs now as they have to retake it somehow. Thomas with the aggressive angle. But a good read here from CAZ. They know that one of these B players is going to have to rotate off of the B bomb site towards A. And with the 2 on A, the 2 on B, it's going to make it 2 versus 5 at this B bomb site. Brody C and Cinder going to have to go huge.
Good frag. But the real big contention point is going to be that B site as mentioned. Dream and Roma, they're ready to combine. Brody, the first in line to fall. Cinder is going to find one. They're looking towards short, able to claim the life of Aussie. And at this point, a what screamed an almost surreal exception as MCK finds himself back-to-back shots on towards Smooya and Thomas, and leaves us pitted yet again at a 1v1. What can MCK do here though, as he wants to plant the bomb around that pillar nice and quickly, not allow Cinder just a free roam peek, which is something that he will get unscathingly on towards short, but not one that's going to net him with a frag on towards MCK, but he does peek it. And to be honest, the contention there did not favour MCK at all. The way he was playing that could have been better decisions to be made.
He expected him to rotate towards Monster because there was no vision of Cinder after he killed that player towards B short. At that point it is 50-50, so good read from Cinder though. He saw the bomb was planted and didn't overthink himself, thinking, you know, the bomb's down, he had time to move. Maybe he's water, maybe he's already up B short, maybe he's not B short, sorry, maybe he's already on bridge, maybe it's graffiti, you know, all those things go through your head. But Cinder with a good read there. Wins it for CEX. We're looking at a 2-round lead right now, and the money is awful on the CAZ side as they only do have the quasi. Oh, that's more than a quasi. Well, that's a force buy in my eyes. 500 a few of those players. They need to win this, otherwise it's looking like potentially. I mean, if CEX win this, we're looking at what? 8-5 and then 9-5 for the eco, and they have been reset. Remember, so this could even this could very, very quickly go into double digits for CEX.
Rezu going to try and make it happen. We'll find one, and they do a lot of damage to this push. Smooya now playing much further back and just trying to make sure he doesn't get caught off guard. And he does the work at the end of the day to make sure that CAZ don't get this binding opportunity to storm on through. They do get an upgrade, but even though they still have a Tech 9 in play, they're still running towards the A site, bear in mind as well, which a hold going to be ever so present to Cinder. He holds towards Truck. Smooya gets a shot of his own, and one by one, CAZ, they find themselves knocked off a piece. As 8-5 is the scoreline, and the economy is the brutal point for the T side.
Save this, 4 buy into the next round, allow CEX to get 9, and just try and play for 9-6. I mean, 6 rounds in your T-side overpass. Who won pistol? CAZ won pistol, so right now they're only sitting on what?
We did see an instant reversal though.
Yeah, but 4 rounds or so. Oh my god, that's the end there, just with the P90 just mowing down Roma. What are you doing?
Aussie going to hold the angle and catches off Smooya for what is effectively a very raspy push, as now Dream looking to sideline Rezu as he pushes on through with his pistol and gets away with it. Jacob another over towards long. CEX, hello? Not quite sure what the game plan was in this round, but they've just allowed CAZ to walk on up to them with some pistols and say, hey, I'm just going to borrow this for a second. The keys to your truck over at A, and they've let them just run away with it completely undamaged almost as they have to try and do one hell of a retake. It is going to be a sandwich, one that's quickly dismantled.
Wow.
Cinder, the first slice to fall, and Brody, the second just to be thrown into the mud.
He really wants those frags, doesn't he?
I mean, look at the economy of CX now going into this round. It's been a complete different style. They're not going to be going into it with pitch perfect everything they want. Instead, they're uncomfortable.
Endpoint removed Smooth for various reasons, but one of the reasons they removed him was because of the over-aggression he had, especially on the eco rounds. And they mentioned, speaking to them, they mentioned that he threw a lot of rounds that were in the favor of Endpoint at the time. And that's just not a round you can lose or afford to lose if you're CEX, and especially with Aussie finding Thomas with the smoke right now.
Talk about the P90. Talk about interesting frags. That's a second for the first one we saw in that round just before. CAZ, they've got themselves set up to at least start this one off strong, but we can still look for a response from the CX side, especially with Smooth getting the face. He's being shot down as well. Most importantly, getting pushed at this point, so so much work for him to achieve, and with 3 players charging dead set at his direction, the only way is into his grave.
He's trying to force the play and make the play and trying to make it into his own hands. But right now, it's up to Brody C. Gets one. There he is. The instant trade comes out. Resi does get MCK, but the problem is, though, that trade onto Brody C gives CAZ the B bomb site. And right now, they know where Cinder is. He's only 42 HP. Doesn't want that SMG. Instead, he wants the 5-7. Doesn't connect it, though. 8-7. CAZ gets 7 on their T side. I mean, don't want to bring up any names. I mean, fair enough, Smith. You've got 19, 20 kills. What's he got? 19 for 10, but that one round could definitely come back to haunt them.
I think that pretty much that one round opens them up to actually get those T rounds, which, yeah, 7 on the T side overpass is... It's an awkward predicament overall. I think an 8-7 is something that both of these teams can try and play towards, but at the end of the day, CAZ on a CT side, I do kind of look towards these players and see, you know what, this is where the spotlight could shine for them on overpass.
This pistol could really make the difference going to this second map, and it's best of 3.
Let's talk about pistols. Historically, have these teams, where have these teams stood? Because CAZ, we saw them get the first. We've
Personally,
seen them have
I've never seen CAZ play overpass before. CEX pistol, it's generally connector. I mean, what you generally see on the pistol of the T side is 3 connector, 4 connector, and then the other player going over towards B short, monster, or towards A. And when I say A, I mean go up mid, jump around, try not to die. One of the problems we have when you call the strat, where you have 4 players together and 1 player alone, is if he dies by himself, and usually what happens is the CT of the best spawn towards mid, who's playing A, he'll peek mid for information and have 1 or 2 taps towards any players he spots before he falls back in case he gets overrun. If that player dies in mid, it completely changes the round. So hopefully, if they do go for that 4-1, that 1-4 setup towards A, which they have been doing in previous games on overpass, hopefully 5 stay alive until they reach that toilet area. I mean, another strat I like is having 5 connector. You go all in connector, up to toilets. If you don't get a kill toilets, you run all the way back down to B, B short, and you attack B that way. And there's also the around the world strat where you go up, 5 up mid, all through A long, jump around long, try and get spotted, then you go into the toilets, connector, try go back B again, try and catch a player rotating, or in B short, caught off guard. What do you do on your pistols on overpass?
Usually connector. Connector is because it's box
Close
standard.
range.
I think the only other option as well is a split towards B can always be pretty fun. Take quick short control.
Even a rush B.
Rush. I've never really been a fan of rush B. I always find that every time I try and work in with a team, we always get nade stack. It's uncomfortable and
yeah, but you don't really
unlucky.
see a nade stack on a pistol round, do you? Let's see what happens now. The kit and smoke on Roma. But right now it's all up to Aussie. Can he nail a few of these heads? Let's see.
Searching for something. Gonna find at least one, but Roma, the man coming from above, he's putting so much pressure on these guys. Smooth is going to tap on away and claim the life of MCK, so it is going to be a response to be found from the T-side, and most notably, the bomb will find its way back into the ground. What a utility of pretty much anything that T-side has now been expended. CAZ literally on this retake, and look at how low Cinder is going to be almost certain to fall, but the double facing from short, and it's going to net them a huge advantage now, but Aussie looking to yet again push up close and personal, 3v1, and he pegs them down with ease. Back-to-back headshots for him, 3k overall in the round. He is not complaining.
No, he's not. He definitely did his job there. That B rush coming in with no flashes as well. It's all just down to pure aim. And now we're seeing CAZ taking both the pistols. CX, they might force this, but they did get the bomb down, so there's no real need to.
Wouldn't be surprised at the end of the day, as we see CeX, they're just going to go into this one relaxing. They know they have that economical standpoint of the bomb plant. That boosts them up to enough to go into the next one with a much stronger point to play with. So for now, just sit tight with these pistols, chap a couple of heads, try and do some damage.
But we've seen a lot of full eco round wins today. Anyway though, Roma towards this toilet area and they shot a Symphony. 1, 2, 3 potentially. Yes, he does. He gets all 3. That's going to be 1.8k in the bank for him. Can he get any more? 2.1k sealed the deal. Any other higher bidders here? Don't think so. He's found 4.
And Thomas, the last man remaining, and he's just sitting there going, so I had a team, but I'm accepting offers now, guys. You know, anyone want to let me in because they've all just died and pretty much blistering speeds.
Nice Dink, but fortunately for him, Dink isn't quite enough in this situation because 5 players stay alive and already now the money. If they lose this, they can buy it into the next round, so that's so important. Unless they do opt to swap out these scouts and FAMAS's for rifles, but it's a hard call. Actually, they will drop the scout and they will pick up that M4, so fair play. Dream would rather have that. But it's going to be Jakim on the MP7. It's not really the best gun. Surprisingly accurate though for an SMG.
Quick aggression coming out from Thomas as he just tries to push on forward. The team is right behind him, but can CAZ make it work? The answer so far is going to be certainly a bit of a weird one as back and forth trades is the aim of the game. Ozzy going to be the man to put the final nail in the coffin of CeX in regards to this push. But Cinder and Smooth, they are still standing, and they want to try and at least, well, rescind any sort of attempt that can be made. As the push around Pillar, inch by inch, is going to become something that couldn't hit a frag, but the double peek is ever so smart and will enable that trade yet again. A staple mark of CAZ coming into the latter portion of this. So now Smooth, he is a player that can pull off these clutches, can pull off these almost hilariously put 1v2s and 1v3s, but this should not be possible. CAZ, they have the setup, they have control of the bomb, but Ozzy, rough.
I mean,
but gets it nonetheless.
From what I've just witnessed there, sometimes Smooth does call over Rezu and he makes his calls like, Rush B, I'm going short or connector. And right there, we see a lot of Mirage, especially Mirage it feels like, but right now, what I've just witnessed there, that is a smoother call. That is a smoother call. Have all of his teammates go monster and have him late look and try and get the backstab in towards B short. But the problem is though, the setup from CAZ, it was strong. They didn't have any players overcommitting towards barrels or water. Instead, they're both towards bridge, so that flash didn't quite get them enough. MCK though is challenged right now, spraying, falls down into the water, but will find the frag, Jacob with 2 as well. Cinder finds 2 for his name, but unfortunately for him, 2 frags isn't quite enough. You need to get 5 frags or defuse the bomb. Or make the bomb explode for the T side.
What's actually worrying for me about that whole explanation that you've just done is the fact that you're not the first person, not the last person to use the phrase smoothie call.
Smoothie lad.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that really says for him in terms of some of the calls that he can make, but you know what? We're gonna let that sink in.
Incredibly gifted and talented in terms of knowledge about the game, and I wouldn't say knowledge about the game, but like feel for the game. Players that play versus him, I mean, at Epic LAN, you had Vatic constantly saying, he's always where we are. It's like we're playing versus a cheater, is what they say. I mean, so many accusations have come Smoothie's way, simply because he's always in the right place. Well, mostly the right place at the right time. So, but you could think, oh, that makes for a great IGL. Look at Stewie 2K. The thing is, though, being an IGL is not just about reading the game. There's far more to it. And Smoothie might have good reads, but that's only, you know, half of what an IGL needs to be.
Yeah, we've seen that at times come to fruition, but for now, let's see what CeX are going to do in this one, as they are very much stumped up over towards a split between long and mid, and joint forces the bomb. Still somewhat left all alone over towards long. Looking like it is now going to find its way over through Birthday and up towards A though, so at least going to be rejoining the pack with 50 seconds on the clock. You'd almost hope for that as Dream is going to be going for the peak and gets the collateral. Perfect way to go about it, and what a way to start off this push. Just the T side are going to look to at least claim that one back. Thomas is going to find one. Dream opens it up to a third, but Thomas is still going to be doing the work. Headshot for him. Cinder just another on towards MCK. Can he pull back the 1v2? Aussie 64 HP, JKM 100. We do have the kit, of course. One at that, but is it going to be enough? The bomb is going to now begin to tick on away. Cinder stuck in the corner, has to peek. Oh, he spread way too thin.
Shot there through bank, caught Cinder's attention, and the attention was all he needed for Aussie to come in through the flank there, and find that kill. Such a hard 1 versus 2 there, especially when you have the player that's coming out of connector that is flanking you. Anyway, they'll be leading on into this game. 4 rounds now in the lead for CAZ, and from Cobblestone, I was expecting a 2-0.
Yeah, it must be a pretty hard life sitting on this desk today, because our predictions haven't exactly been...
Well, we're standing, and right now, it's definitely look like CeX can't really... God, what's the... I've messed that one up, haven't I?
You know what?
Yeah,
if it suits with our predictions, so we'll let it happen, we'll let it slide.
I predicted 2-1 in favour of CAZ, right? But right now, I didn't expect CeX to win Cobblestone and CAZ to right now be leading in 4 rounds ahead on Overpass.
Smooth.
Now the boost will come out and he's going to peek towards Heaven.
It's scripted, I'll give him that, but is he going to get away with it or not? That's the big question. Did I speak towards Heaven? But there is no one there left to find, and now's an opportunity to try and get some information, or just sit and hold, and really it's anyone's choice at this point, because the impact, it's all going to be about the same. A frag not yet presented.
What is that? No
that
flash.
was not an option on the list.
I mean, right now he's getting desperate. He's trying to make the play for his team, but it's going to be Thomas to find the first. Smokes off water now, good smoke, but the Molotov will actually mess it up, so clear vision for Dream. Should just take down Thomas. Jacob as well, holding the nice line there towards B short, and Cinder down the 1 versus 4. Not too much you can do here.
I'm just going to find myself faced with overwhelming force, and it's easy for CAZ to close that one out now. I've got to say, there's a direct comparison I want to make between Thomas and Smooth. Now, not because they're the same style of player or anything along those lines, but you just look at the way both of them played out that round. Smooth, as you say, getting desperate, trying to force the hands.
Desperate is the word I'd use for sure.
Trying to really make this huge A++ play, but it's not working for him. Thomas, on the other hand, he's still sitting tight. He's still just being him. And he's getting frags. He's stepping up to the plate. He's been getting 3Ks. He got a beautiful one-tap in that round. Very artful. He might not be top of the board, but the impact from him right now, very much on the improving side. And they're actually contesting this in a 3v3. Thomas picking up that pick with a Tech 9. Let's see what he can do as he leads the charge up on towards A.
MCK though. Does know where Thomas is and sprays him down and wins it. Any more the Cinder. Puts him down to 2 HP. The flash comes in now. He says stay alive and he's playing it smart. Waiting for his teammates to come in behind. Aussie towards long. Cinder's not going to be able to walk into his crosshair and he will fall. Brody C finds Jacob, but Jacob puts him down to 4 HP. Brody's still got 4 utility. Would have been nice to have that going onto the A-bomb side, but enough of that. He will hopefully instead use that towards B.
4 HP, not a pretty number by a long shot. But one thing that does go in Brody's favour is going to be that bomb plot. There is nothing that can stop him. And Molotov all going to go into that smoke. No frag grenade, which pretty much would have done that.
Here's a flashbang down and Molly. So, what he could do here is Molly off Heaven and then go towards B short. But instead, he will opt to go towards Monster. Has the Molly for Water. And if he Molly's Water and flashes, he can peek towards Bridge. But instead, it's looking like he wants to just dry face into everything.
Yeah, going in dry, proving to be a painful experience.
Ooh, you know from experience.
Wow. CAZ, they get the 14, and from there, just 2 away from inching things out.
Inches, yes indeed. 14-8. 6 rounds apiece. CeX have to double their scoreline if they want to win this, or just get 7 and potentially go to OT.
As each and every single round gets claimed, even the assault on towards CeX, it still feels like things are getting more and more difficult for them to just to find any sort of tempo in this matchup. Already starting to see a couple of individuals, yes, step up, but it's still not enough to close things out for them, and they are very, very visually falling behind. The scoreline really says it all, but just the way the rounds have gone as well, just almost uncomfortable to witness in comparison to the way the first went.
Oh yeah, it's definitely looking like we're going to be here till 1 AM.
I think the third map though could be very, very exciting.
RIP to the producer going home.
Smooth. Over towards short, got that ADP, not really a scripted play on towards sandbags this time around, it seems.
Here, so maybe it is slightly scripted.
Yeah, position. Well, Jacob got a peek on out, knocks him down, and it's just a repeat game of bowling for him.
I mean, peeking how he is completely fine when you have a teammate with you. You look at Fallen, for example. He's a very aggressive AWPer. He always has Cold Zero or Taco to back him up, and in that situation, he'll be peeking Heaven, with a teammate to watch towards where that player was that killed Smooth. Anyway, you see a flurry of flags. All those flags go in favor of CAZ because it's 15-8. And already, I mean, look at the money as well. It's going to be so hard for CeX to fight back in this one.
Everything has fallen to pieces, and it would be interesting just to take a look at the scoreboard to see when that turning point was, because it feels like there has been a very, very clear one, and I think it really says it all when you look at the way things have gone. Just to confirm my original suspicions, the second half...
Actually, Roma's stepped up. He was originally 0 for 7. Now he's at 11 for 16. I mean, it's not the best scoreline, but it's definitely one that's been reliable.
It's the flawless second half as well that
Yep.
really is the sore thumb. I think that players have stepped up, that's a given in itself, but yeah, perfection from CAZ. Can't complain.
No. 15-8. Match point. 4 versus 5 though. CeX have the lead in this one, but not the lead in the game. Boost coming for Smooya, trying to get picked towards A. Will Ozzy face into him unnecessarily? Yes, he will, but who wins the duel? It's going to be Smooya because Ozzy can't really see too much of Smooya. Anyway, though, Roma finds one. Can he get two? No, he can't because Brody sees on the ball and finds the headshot onto Roma. So the trade game is strong for CEX. If only we saw this a bit earlier.
Yeah, perhaps a little too late, or perhaps the fight for overtime is going to be on as Rezu in a perfect position to shut down Jacob. CEX, is this a different team? You've suddenly just reappeared out of nowhere.
Very hyped for 9-15, mate.
I mean, it's the big thing for me is not getting hyped over the scoreline. You remove the scoreline completely. You watch that round. You watch every other round from this half.
Oh, completely different. Yeah.
That's my point. That's what gets me excited, because why are we just seeing a completely different CEX? Has this just all left the server and different players have joined, or what has took place? Because that right there.
Maybe they thought they won it. After they won Cobble, maybe they thought they won it. Anyway, though.
Well, if that's a kick up the arse, I still don't think overtime is going to be on the cards unless they can string together at least a couple more. And flawlessly at that in terms of momentum.
Oh, Roma actually has flashed up the angle. Speed Dream with an AWP, not really the gun you want in this situation. Can he get any more than one? No, he can't, because once again, Brody C gets the trade. One-man lead still for CEX. We saw them close out last time with a one-man advantage. Looking like they might do it again, but it's going to be Ozzy on the flank. He's always behind players. 3 versus 2 now. Low HP on Smooya as well, so the bomb going down. Kits on both these players. Can Ozzy find one more and make it the 2 versus 2?
Smooya looks like he's almost certainly swallowed out Ozzy as well, so knows roughly what his game plan is going to be. That Molotov just burning on the way and almost
so
destructing
risky.
him. 11 HP, but look at him hold this angle. He's so confident in the way he's going to hit this, and he does land it. Ozzy taken down. From there, Rezu going to claim the head of MCK. So CX, they get themselves a second.
Second indeed. And the money not looking too strong on the CAZ side.
I do want
They
to
are
say,
at match point, so there isn't really any need for them to buy into this. Instead, they're going to go for the quasi buy with pistols and a few players on armor. That way, they'll have the full buy going to the next round, so they don't want to risk anything. There's no reason to take risks when you're 15-10 up.
I'm always going to be applying the caster's curse here. That's a given, but it would be a bit crazy if CX start winning rounds and do bring things back to 15-15 to play for overtime.
If this goes overtime, my money's on CEX.
Considering CX, the only rounds they've won have been when CAZ are at 15.
It's not just that, but it feels like CEX is sort of like, oh, you know what? We actually have to step up right now because they are at match point. And if this goes overtime, you can see how revitalized the T side from CAZ is, especially after, sorry, not CAZ, the revitalized CEX T side.
Oh, okay, revitalized. Well, that's one way to shut us down as Cinder. Have fun on a 1v2.
Caster's curse, mate. You've done it, not
Yeah,
me.
I mean, this is all on me, it seems.
CAZ paying you something that I don't know about.
Up against the wall at this point. 2 flashes, an AK in his back pocket. Got that Kevlar, of course, but he is playing for everything. If he loses this, it is all over. This map done and dusted. The flash is going to go out. He's looking for that initial pick on towards MCK. He's just going to sit tight in the corner. And still, no face. This is smart from CAZ. They've set themselves up to really make this one work. The lights are on. Production, they're not quite believing. They find the first pick, though, on towards Cinder's side, but is he going to get the second? The pistol looking to catch him off guard, and there you have it, Roma. Get it ended out.
That was a really good one.
It was a great one, but I do feel a little bit bad at the end. Not gonna lie.